Alright, this is my setup all the way around here. We have Agentgates coil, my first one according to some just instructions on there. We have some LEDs. This is a secondary that's just an alligator clip wrapped around almost 3 times, and then this is my secondary, the larger secondary underneath, and these are the primaries connected to these wires, and they'll come over to my board here. You can see it's all the same. Start off over here. We have 4 batteries, small cap, it's 1,000 microfarad, but it's just a little stiffening cap. Reed switch, and we have one of my big coils. I call them big because they got some big wire on them and they're low ohms. These are my big reeds. I think if you've seen my videos before, you've seen them. And this is an activation magnet. So we're making an oscillator out of this side over here. When we bring this magnet close to the reed, it fires up. 1 second here. Alright, you can see that's a back EMF going back across the reed from this coil. So what's happening is this activates the reed, this builds a field, counteracts the magnet, reed opens, and the process starts over again. So we got a nice little oscillator. You could change pulse width like this. I'm going to bring the camera close, see if you can hear it. Alright, so that is buzzing. We have these 2 wires here from across the coil. We come across to these 2 22 microfarad caps, and then we'll run the other end of that. Each leg of this is going through a cap, so it's electrically isolated. And then we have these 2 rails here where it comes out to. I don't have this wire hooked up yet. Those rails come over to here to a bridge rectifier, which is sent to this 0.33 microfarad capacitor. It's not a very big cap, but this is what's working in the circuit right now. Then we have here, we have another reed, but this is a 12-volt relay coil. One side is connected to ground across this cap, negative. This is connected. My meter leads are connected here also. It's just a convenient place to put the leads. We have a couple of resistors here, 4 resistors, 100 ohm resistors. So this is going to the positive. So this ends up being a load across here. It's about I think it's 500 ohms. So the back EMF pushes through, pumps through these caps, charges up this cap through the bridge rectifier, and this ends up being a load across there. So with this load on there, we'll plug this in. Let's see here. Let's move this out, increase the voltage. Oh, that's good. I haven't had that much voltage out of this. You can see it snapping a little bit, but most of the charge is going here and getting dumped into this small cap with the load on it. So with the 500 ohm load, we have 40 volts, 42 volts. Alright, now what I have this reed here for is when this voltage gets high enough to activate this reed, it puts the primary of Gates coil across the capacitor also. So then what happens is that capacitor loses its voltage and the reed opens, and then this won't fire the reed again until this capacitor raises up to a voltage that's high enough to activate the reed, and the process starts over. So it's sort of like a second oscillator. I think of it as a Tesla spark gap, but it's magnetically activated instead of high voltage spark activated. So what we're going to do is we got a little activation magnet that's not strong enough to activate this reed, but what it does is puts a polarity on it that allows this to activate the reed stronger. If I take this off, it can activate in there. Let's see, take it off and we'll slide it in. Yeah, with this 42 volts, it's activating really good. I haven't had this much yet, but we'll put these magnets on there and you can see that it activates a little sooner. So we'll put that in here, get that humming. Now you can see our LEDs on that alligator clip. You can see it's just the alligator clip going all the way around. And then this one also is just about as bright. I'd say they're both just as bright as another. When I shine them on the wall, they look the same. It seems that I'm getting just as much brightness on this secondary LED as I am with these 3 wraps of an alligator clip. This alligator clip, I played with this coil with this primitive caveman circuit for a little while, and I really wasn't measuring anything at the ends of my secondary here off of these wires. Didn't see anything, not with the meter. So I sort of didn't play with it for a while. I didn't mess around with the coil. You know, I'm waiting for answers on this thread. So I just got the thought to take an alligator clip with an LED and just wrap it around the outside once, and it lights with one wrap. Actually, let me pull this off. Yeah, let's unloosen this. Okay. Let's see if we can hold it together without tearing everything apart. Come on. Alright, let's get across that LED. Alright, you can see the LED is not lit right now. We're just going to get one wrap on there. You can see this is just one wire. Pull it tight. Come on. Having a hard time, folks. Give me a second here. Trying to hold everything. There we go. But the LED, it's not as bright. Let's see if I can get that to hold there. You can see it's just one wrap going around here. What can I use? Let me use this clip. Hold on one sec. Alright, I just used this red clip to hold those wires together because I wasn't planning on doing this round. But she's lit with one wrap going around there. And we're basically, maybe if it's going up to 35 volts by the time it snaps or pulses this coil, that's what we got. But, and this is back EMF off of this few windings of primary, creating this little spark, so I could probably capture that and use that also. Alright guys, see ya.